Okay, this is a 2011 Toyota Sienna. I'm gonna try and attempt this without too much camera movement. So here's the engine bay. Okay, so first we're gonna remove the battery. I have a smaller battery in this one, so it was pried in with some pieces of wood to stop it from moving around. I think these are 10 millimeter. Put all your nuts and bolts in one spot so you don't lose them. For some reason this one's possibly 11 millimeter. Yeah, so got somehow two different sizes there. Maybe one got lost at one time and somebody replaced it with a different nut and bolt. So move these brackets and pieces of wood out of the way. Disconnect the battery. Maybe just unplug the whole thing. Oh, that's smaller than a 10. It is a 10 millimeter. Don't need to completely take them off, just loosen them. They should pop off. Just use a screwdriver. Don't like to touch anything metal. Might have a spark. This side here. Somehow. Pull our battery out. All right, remove our air tank system here. Or air intake, sorry. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. Yeah, that's better. These are also 10 millimeter. We're just going to keep it digging in here until we get to the starter. I've replaced one on one of these before, but looks fairly easy. Straightforward. Pipe disconnects out of here. I don't know if you can see that. Just pops out of here. And you see where the connection was. Goes in. There goes my holding bar. Try that again. Okay. These lines just have little clips that I can unclip here. Looks like in 3 different spots. Now we can pull it out. Just a bunch of plastic. Now we can start the starter. There's a couple connections there to get at. I'll try and get some help. It's just 2 bolts, one there and one on the back. Position this down. See what's going on. Okay. So there's a little rubber garment on the back of this one here. I'll just pull that out of the way. And I'm not sure what size that is. Let's try 12. Looks like it is a 12. So it's a little connection here. Push it on it, we should be able to remove it. It's just a little clip. Push in on that little tab there and pull. Comes right out of the way. Just move it out of our way for now. Bit of a tight spot to get in there, but my wrench just fits. You might need a smaller one, or you can use a small hand wrench. So take it out before you jam it in there. I think we can get it out by hand now. Now this starter was still working, but it's the original one. This is now 2022, so it's a 11-year-old starter. And now I'm taking this fan for a long trip, so I think it's time to replace it, along with the alternator, which I'll do in another video. And these ones are 14 mil. So if you're not sure if your starter is bad, usually it acts like a dead battery. So if you check your battery, you're getting good running power on your battery. You should get around 13 or 14 volts when the vehicle is operating. If not, then your battery's no good. But if it is getting proper voltage, then likely your starter is starting to go, especially if you have a hard time starting it sometimes. And you can usually get a few more starts out of them. If somebody hits it right here while someone else turns the key, you might still get a few more cycles out of it. That bolt back there, I'm not quite sure I'm going to reach that. I think I'm going to put an extension on my wrench to reach it from behind the starter. Let's try this, see if this will work. There we go. Let's crack it open. There we go. Now that it's pretty loose, try and get my hand in there somehow. I wonder if it's easier if I take this whole air box off here. See what's holding it here. Screws there. Oh, that might be a bit more work than it's worth. Should be able to reach in here. Get my fat fingers in there. Big hand. There we go. Find a way to twist in there. Try and save ourselves some work. Less parts remove, the better. Sometimes it can be a bit of a struggle, but we can get it. Whoops. Just don't drop them. It can be hard to find sometimes. Both of those bolts are the same length. Sometimes they're different lengths, so make sure you don't mix that up. Now we can just pop out our starter, wiggle it out. And there we go. Let's carefully remove it without damaging anything or any other wires. Here's our starter. Still looks okay. Plunger still works. You can see it pop out. So what happens when it gets a electrical current, this pops out, gets onto the flywheel, and cranks on the flywheel. You can see our teeth are a little bit worn, but still fairly good condition. Now whether the solenoid could go soon or not, I don't know. So we're just going to replace it. You can get rebuild kits to rebuild the starters, or you can just buy a remanufactured one. It's probably going to be the best bet. Those parts are getting harder to find to rebuild these, or any starter. And to buy a brand new from the dealer is about 3 times the cost. always found that these remanufactured ones are just as good. So we'll just hand tighten these bolts back in here. Leave this one a little loose so that's a little easier to get our back one in. Try and find a way to wrap our hand around here again. Wrap my hand. Ever so carefully. Try not to drop the bolt. Change that direction. She's a little bit too loose. So I'm gonna hold on to my socket while I turn my ratchet. Snug it up, not too tight. Very good angle on these, but I'll show you once I've got them on. Up. Now, we'll take our bolt off the back here, our nut, sorry, bolt and a lock washer. We'll connect this back on. Try a 13. Yeah. Maybe we'll put a little bit of grease on there. our electrical connection. Make sure it's in there. And it's just that easy. Just put everything else back. Okay. Just like that. Put our hoses back on those clips. Retrieve back in that spot here. Up. Don't need to tighten them too much. Just hold it down plastic, and if you over tighten them, your plastic will crack. I'll have to replace this air filter pretty soon. Didn't need to take that out, but reinstall the battery. Not touching anything. Bit of spark there. It's okay. Always be careful using ratchets or tighten up your battery bolts. If you touch metal, it'll spark at you. And it can hurt you. But I've never really gotten a really bad shock yet. As you can see, my battery terminals are full of grease. I like to keep them that way. Now, I'm just going to try this and make sure it starts before I finish it off. There we go. Starts nice and smooth. A lot better, actually, than the other starter. So that tells me that it was due for a new one. Okay, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much.